The course objectives is we'll understand to configure asset accounting, how to use asset accounting and reporting for assets. In this course, we cover the organization structure, master data, what are the asset transactions, periodic processing, and information system and reporting. So let's understand the organization structure in asset accounting. After completing this unit, we will be able to define the chart of depreciation, assign a chart of accounts and a chart of depreciation to a company code, describe how asset accounting is integrated with cost accounting, name the asset class, assign the asset class to asset, and define which depreciation area posts their values to the general ledger. So typically an asset accounting life cycle is like this. An asset accounting starts with acquisition. We first acquire the asset and then capitalize the asset. We capitalize all the relevant costs into the asset, acquisition cost, the procurement, the transport cost and additional, and the construction cost is captured and we capitalize it. After that, we start depreciating the asset. The asset is depreciated over the useful life of the asset. So every month the depreciation is automatically posted by the system. And if required, sometimes the asset is transferred from one location to another. It can be from one location to another. So that transfer of asset also is covered in the asset accounting life cycle. And finally, there could be the retirement. At the end of the useful life, the asset is retired, or sometimes the asset is scrapped because of obsolescence, or asset is sold before the useful life. So all of these scenarios are covered in the asset accounting life cycle. So let's understand the organization structure. So every company uses one chart of accounts. We have the one chart of account. For example, if in a group, if there are multiple company codes, all the company codes use a single chart of account. Okay. And a company which are based in the country will use the one single chart of depreciation. So a chart of depreciation is always country specific. For example, there could be various rules and regulations for calculating depreciation for each country. For example, India could have a specific rules of calculating depreciation. Japan could have different. US could have different and all and all. So that's the reason we have chart of depreciation, which is country specific. So in this case, let's say we have Great Britain as a separate chart of depreciation. Company code in different country has a, so all of these have the same chart of accounts, but the chart of depreciation is different. Now here we see 1 DE is the Germany, 1 GB is Great Britain, US is 1 US, and so on and so forth. So in a chart of depreciation, we have various depreciation areas. So typically in asset accounting module, we can have 99 depreciation area. The depreciation area is defined with a 2-digit numeric key. So that's the reason we can have 99 depreciation areas in a chart of depreciation. So what typically comprises of the depreciation area? It can be book depreciation area. It can be special tax depreciation area. So there are reasons to calculate depreciation as per various legislation. For example, book depreciation is nothing but sometimes the Companies Act. You could have in taxes you could have separate depreciation being calculated. For the insurance purpose, you could have separate depreciation being calculated. So cost account, various type of depreciations can be captured in each of the depreciation areas. Okay. For example, in US, we have this federal tax, ACR, MACR. So all of these are captured in a separate depreciation area. But please understand that in all of these depreciation area, the 01 book depreciation area, which will be as per the group, will be the same. So 01 will always be the same. And you can manage all other depreciation areas in different depreciation areas other than 01. Now, depreciation area 01 is the leading depreciation area. Values and depreciation are posted to the general ledger. You can also post depreciation from other ledger as well, but from the other depreciation area as well. And these will be posted to the non-leading ledger. So depreciation areas can be managed in different ledgers, okay, for local reporting or for any other matter. So depreciation area typically shows country-specific valuation, for example, net worth, tax, rate calculation, values or depreciation that differ from area 01 for cost accounting reasons, book depreciation in group company, difference between book and country-specific tax-based depreciation. So different depreciation areas can have the same value and depreciation term, but can be displayed in different currencies. So you can have 01, 32. So for example, your local depreciation area will be managed in 01, will have a company specific code, company code specific managed in company code currency. Whereas your 32 and 30 could manage in your group currency. So that's the reason we need to have separate depreciation area configured. Now, a company code is created in the financial accounting. So any organization which requires a balance sheet and BNL, we need to have a company code created. So the chart of depreciation. Now, chart of depreciation is specific to an asset accounting. So this chart of depreciation is assigned to the company code. Okay, so in a country, if there are more than one company codes, the same company codes can use the same chart of depreciation. The necessary data for asset accounting is added to the company code. So all the configurations are done in chart of depreciation, and that is assigned to the company code. The company code is now available for use by asset accounting. Once we assign the chart of depreciation to the company code is now available for use by asset accounting. So here we have chart of depreciation, we have chart of accounts, and this is the financial accounting company code. So data for asset accounting. So what we do is we update all the configurations in the asset accounting module. It can be the depreciation terms, it could be the period in how it is posted, all the depreciation terms, etc. So all of that is configured in asset accounting, and that is ready to use in the company code. So asset accounting is tightly integrated with cost accounting. Cost accounting means the cost center module and the CO controlling module. So it could post to the various objects in cost accounting. It is cost center, internal order, it can be real or statistical. So if it is statistical, then of course we need to do a posting onto the cost center, which can be real. Then a WBS. So if you want to post to a project, then WBS can be assigned in the time dependent area. So we can have in the asset master, if you see this is the asset master, we can assign here cost center, order, and so on and so forth. Okay. But please note that the controlling module is only integrated with the leading ledger. So you can post it only to the leading ledgers. Of course, you can also post it to the non-leading ledger, but the controlling is not managed in all the non-leading ledgers. So here, what will happen is when the depreciation is posted to the book depreciation, tax depreciation, the objects are picked up from the asset master. It can be cost center, WBS, and all that. So it will have postings on the cost center. For example, vehicle, actual. If it is order, then it will be posted to order. If it is WBS, then it will be posted to WBS. So here we can assign in the asset master WBS, real estate objects, CSM objects, maintenance order. And then they can be posted to cost center, real order, or WBS, real estate object, statistical WBS, and public sector management objects, and so on and so forth. Now, in asset accounting, we have asset classes. Now, what are asset classes? Asset classes are something which we need to, for example, when we have a fixed asset schedule, or we can call it schedule, we need to show our various assets which are owned by the company into various, we have to separately show them. For example, land is shown separately. Buildings are shown separately. Vehicles are shown separately. Furniture and fixtures are shown separately. Plant and machinery is shown separately. And asset under constructions are shown separately. So each of these, what we need to show separately, are created as asset classes. So asset classes Underneath asset classes, the asset masters are created. Okay, so an asset class under the asset class, an asset master is created. So asset class is basically an object created at client level. They are then assigned to at least one chart of depreciation. So several chart of depreciation can also be assigned to an asset class. So normally an asset class is a catalog which is uniform across depreciation areas or across depreciation chart of depreciation. So we have typically in various classes of assets, for example, furniture and fixture, building, vehicles. So we have assigned the default values as well. So here, if you see the asset classes are there, and these are the chart of depreciation which are being used, 1D, 1US, and all that. Okay. So here we have the asset classes. We have buildings, we have machine, we have furniture and fixture, asset under construction, low values. And under these asset classes, we are creating the various asset masters. Okay. So fixed assets are valued for various business and legal purposes. So for example, book depreciation, tax depreciation, cost accounting depreciation, and so on. So the chart of depreciation is a catalog of country-specific depreciation areas, structured account to various business aspects. The attribute of each individual depreciation area can be specified. A new chart of depreciation can be created by copying one of the reference chart of depreciation. So SAP has provided, for example, country-specific chart of depreciation. It has one DE, one D is for Germany, 1 GB is for Great Britain, for Japan it is separate. So all of these country-specific setup is done in this chart of depreciation. So whenever we are creating it for those countries, we need to copy this. We need to, for example, if we are creating a company based in Germany, you need to copy 1D and create that as ZD or whatever naming convention you want, Z or Y. Similarly, if you are creating a chart of depreciation for a company which is based in Japan, so you need to copy the one JPY depreciation area into our chart of depreciation area, which will be Z or Y. Or if it is, for example, India, then we need to copy the chart of depreciation for India, and so on and so forth. Because all of the country specific setup, for example, is already pre-configured by SAP. So, for example, in Japan, there could be multiple depreciation keys. So these are already pre-set up. You can copy it into by creating the new chart of depreciation by using the existing chart of depreciation provided by SAP. So here we have various setup available at various depreciation areas. For example, in book depreciation area, provide posted online. We for certain depreciation area we do not post any values. Area post only depreciation. Area post APC immediately and depreciation. The system dictates that the depreciation area 01 post APC to general ledger online. Now everything is online in S4 HANA. All depreciation area is posted online. So depreciation areas can also be defined for reporting purposes only, which do not post any values to general ledger. Example, tax balance sheet, tax depreciation area. Both the asset balance sheet and depreciation values can be posted from individual depreciation also to separate balance sheet accounts or income statement in general ledger. The financial statement version to be used for the depreciation area for which financial statements are to be created will have to be entered while customizing for asset accounting. So here what we do is, here is the depreciation area. We have the general ledger account, GL account assigned, and we have the financial statement version which we assign to the depreciation area. Okay. So organization, structure, exercise, time. What you need to do is create a chart of depreciation by copying the standard chart of depreciation. Assign your chart of depreciation to a company code. Check how the depreciation areas of a chart of depreciation post to general ledger. Refer our S4 HANA Asset Accounting Configuration document step 1. So here are the steps: copy reference chart of depreciation, specify description of chart of depreciation, copy or delete separation area, specify transfer of FPC value, specify trans. So all of these steps we need to follow in the configuration.